cold winter's morning in June, a Sydney kayaking group, the Wet Sponges, decided to head north in search of whales. For some of us, it was our first time on open water, and nerves were starting to show. After a quick pit stop for coffee, we continued on. We'd chosen to paddle from Norah Head, about 120 kilometres north of Sydney. And the 10 of us were joined by some of the local paddlers for what promised to be a 16-kilometre trip north around Bird Island and then back to the launch, where we would go in the opposite direction to the migrating whales. The group met during COVID. In those days, most of us were paddling 4-metre kayaks. The fleet today consisted of a mix of Mirages, Brions, and even a Zeagle paddled by my good friend Josh. After a quick safety brief, we hit the water. The Pacific Ocean looked like a bathtub, and we quickly got into the swing of paddling together. We had perfectly clear water and could see at least 10 metres down. While we had the sun in our eyes on this first leg, we could see jellyfish in the water, including poisonous gimbals, tiny translucent box jellyfish. We took turns rotating between the front, rear and middle of the group to ensure everyone stayed together and was near a radio. Helen helped capture footage for the day. As we got closer to Bird Island, the water started to clear again and the bottom of the ocean became visible. Bird Island is a nature reserve. It's about 1.5 kilometres from the shore and has over 20 types of birds living there. The island's almost impossible to access, being surrounded by sheer cliffs, so our traditional coffee break quickly became an orange on the water as we turned and started to head back. Just as we were starting to worry about seeing a whale, we had our first sightings further offshore. A small group about 200 metres away were making their way north. The perfect conditions made it easy to view, and if you looked east, you felt like you were staring into infinity. I had a hard time pulling myself back from the side of the whales. Then, as we continued, we saw dolphins as well. Again, too far out to get a good shot, but we all stopped silently and watched them pass, glad we'd had the opportunity to see them and happy with our day. Then came a moment I couldn't have dreamed of. A large humpback whale surfaced about 20 metres from me. To see such a beautiful creature so close was both humbling and inspiring. While it only lasted a few seconds, it was a moment that I won't forget. Once the whale passed, we continued on. After 3 hours on the water, our thoughts started to turn to lunch, and we made our way back to the launch. A paddle like this is not something you should try unprepared, but with the right crew of people around you and the right equipment, it can be something special. We all met through a Facebook group called Sydney Kayaking Meetup. I hope I see you on the water sometime soon.